What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another PNTV. We might be here all month with PNTV. This is the Halloween spooky season. It's usually when people do Blocktober, So, yeah, I'm attempted. I ain't going to say I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to attempt it. So, yesterday there was a few things that I did not touch on, so we might as well touch on them today. And then there was some new developments, I believe, overnight as well. Let's hope that I'm able to remember them because, again, I have no notes. Shout out to Dorlinda Tracy TV. She received a promotion. That was our good news from yesterday. In addition to Anna LA, she was going to spend time with her family. That was our second bit of good news. So I want to thank you guys for sharing that. I asked in the video if you had any good news, put it in the comment section, and they shared. So I appreciate that greatly. So one of the things I left off on yesterday was the meeting with the military generals that Hegseth and Dump decided to host. It was said that they requested that everybody who was an officer, a high-ranking officer, was to come to the Pentagon, I believe it was, for this special meeting that nobody knew anything about. Meaning that they didn't have any direction in their orders, because usually when you get orders, you're told what your mission is. They were not told what their mission was. They were just told they need to come at their beck and call. Is pretty much what happened. Okay, so these generals showed up, and basically the whole meeting violated the Uniform Code of Military Justice. The Uniform Code of Military Justice is shared between all branches of service. And these are rules, guidelines, bylaws that the branches of service must follow. One being, we don't serve a fucking president. We serve the Constitution. And if somebody is violating our Constitution, whether they be domestic or foreign, then they are considered to be an enemy of the state, which would make that the president. Yet somehow a lot of military troops have been sent out in violation of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Because again, another one states that if you receive the order that you know is against the Constitution, you do not have to follow it. But they are. And those soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors, guards, all of those people can be prosecuted under the law once all this shit settles down for violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So they go to this meeting, and basically this meeting is telling them that they are finna turn and attack the citizens. That's the basic summary of what he was saying. And if you don't like it, you can get the hell out. First of all, he tried to get try to force them to clap for him, and they wouldn't do it. And you hear a lot of people posting up, the military is not supposed to clap. They're supposed to be always disciplined. Bullshit. The military has clapped for people. We clapped for fucking Bush when he came over to Somali. When he got off the plane, we clapped for him. Well, some people did. I didn't. I didn't even say no Pledge of Allegiance when I was there. But a lot of people, clapped. They cheered. A lot of things that they do. And it hasn't changed. The military has gotten laxed, not more strict. Okay, they have got a lot more laxed. So he basically told these generals and these majors and that they need to fall suit. They need to protect ICE, not protect the citizens that ICE are targeting against the Constitution, but they need to protect ICE. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. And they will start processing your discharge. That's the summary. I'm not quoting anything. because I didn't write no notes there. But that's the summary. The applause or the laughter that you heard in the video, some of it seemed like nervous laughter. Some of it seemed like, yeah, good old boys laughter to me. Okay. And I know from being a United States Marine that racism does not disappear because you stick on a uniform. I usually hear a lot of people say, I see a lot of veterans or a lot of active duty people say, we don't care about racism in the military. And they throw a racist slur or a racist, joke out there. And they're like, look, we can all get along. We can share racist shit with each other. We don't care about none of that. We do. Because you don't hear anything being thrown at them. They're always throwing racist slurs out against black people, against Latino people, against Asian people. And then it's all, we just fun, we're buddy. But say something to them. Call them a cracker, call them a hunky, call them something like that. Anything. Call them a racist. Oh my goodness, their panties were getting a bunch. In the military as well. So it's clear that he's trying to privatize the military to be his own personal police. Which again is against the Constitution. There's so many things that he's doing against the Constitution. And it seems as if nobody's doing anything about it. There are people out there that are taking action. They're calling for lawsuits, but there needs to be something more than just lawsuits. But they are doing that. So I want to stop personally saying they ain't doing nothing unless I'm talking about a specific person, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Y'all fluffing. Y'all trying to pacify us. That's what y'all doing. But I want to stop saying that as a general thing, that they're not doing anything, because people are out there trying to do things. Governor J.B. Pritzker of Chicago, he's calling for impeachment based on the 25th Amendment. The same thing they try to do to Joe Biden. But they was like, based off of these conversations that have been had, these the video footage that's been put out there, the bullying tactics that he's been trying, it's clear that this man is not in his right mind and is not fit for office. So J.B. Pritzker has that. I don't know how many other governors or what have you are backing him in this measure, but I know that his mayor of Chicago is backing him. I find it interesting, though, that Brandon Johnson of Chicago is the only mayor that I've been seeing standing by J.B. Pritzker talking. Maybe I've been missing it. Maybe I've been missing other people. But those are the only two that I have seen in these press conferences willing to vocally stand up and take a stance against this current administration. Chicago has a lot of fucking mayors. I mean, that's Chicago. The state of Illinois has a lot of fucking mayors. Where is everybody else? Because once it hits Chicago, or it has hit Chicago, it's going to bleed into other cities. The same way black people have been telling people that they targeting immigrants and it's going to eventually come back to us because it's always been about us. And what have we here? Okay. Did I mention? Yeah, I mentioned the cities yesterday on who was being targeted, and I mentioned about the Chicago unit that had been infiltrated, dragging mothers out butt ass naked, zip tying children in Chicago. I mentioned that. As well. And like, you hear a lot of these leaders saying what we're not going to let happen, what we're not going to let happen. But they're saying what we're not going to let happen as it's happening. And that's the problem. That's why people are losing faith in our leadership, because they're steady saying what's not going to happen, but it's happening. Okay. Just know that there are people on the ground who are getting their feet wet and who are out there, stomping through the mud for you. And one of the things that I tend to address a lot on Instagram and YouTube, when I see people post videos saying, um, when y'all gonna do something, or is the time now, or just asking who, what, when, and why, and they themselves are not engaging. They're waiting on other people to save them. Have you made phone calls to your leadership? Have you written letters to Congress and the Senate? Have you stepped out in a protest yourself? Have you helped provide legal counsel support? Were you down there when those people were being snatched, taking pictures of the vehicles who were carting them off? What are you doing yourself to be part of the moment, to help stop the fall of democracy, other than asking other people, what are we going to do? A lot of people in that Chicago building were saying how they just feel defeated because of that raid. They feel like they want to just throw in a towel. And that's what I was saying yesterday about Don Lemon telling people to be scared and be afraid. These people are at that stage now. They feel defeated. They feel like they want to just give up. And majority of those people who made those statements have not done anything to help prevent this moment from happening. They may have voted. I'm going to give them that. They may have voted. But when other people around them have been having conversations, were they joining in, or were they just laughing it off like those military officers did when Trump was making those ridiculous demands of them? It's easy to cry and say, woe is me, when you not been doing anything yourself. And like I said, we're not saying throw your body on the front line, but there's small actions that you could be taking. Small actions. Like, one, contacting the people in charge. Except for like right now, if you contact Washington, D.C. to, there's a voice message, Caroline, the chick. She on the voice message saying how the government is showing because the radical left Democrats refuse to sign in the budget, okay, because they want to get health care for immigrants. First, this is my thing here. I don't understand why we can't give health care to immigrants. It should be health care for all. They are human beings. If a foreigner came over here from this country and they were visiting or what have you, and something happens to them while they're here visiting, they get taken care of. They're not citizens. If you saw a random ass dog in the street get hit by a car, motherfuckers would lose their shit and jump out their cars in the middle of traffic to help save that dog or that deer. Why is their life any more important than an immigrant who needs that same care? Them dogs and cats ain't citizens. And I'm using that gross, example to drive home a point. They're fucking human beings. They're people. Now, as of the law, as it states right now, non-immigrants do not receive health care, and that's basically the help. When they say receive health care, they're talking about Medicaid, some type of financial assistance from the government. What is it? Medicare, Medicaid, the marketplace, healthcare programs. I can't think of what they call it Obamacare. I forgot what they done said Obamacare so long. I don't forgot what the real name of it is. Affordable Care Act. Those are what they mean when they say receive health care. Because as of right now, you can go into an ER. They're not going to be checking your immigration status. They're going to be checking your wounds. So in the case of an emergency, all people in this country can get some form of service provided. Whether or not they can stay in the hospital, it's going to be up to whether they can financially afford it. Because if they don't have insurance, then they can't stay there. The insurance has to be able to pay unless they can pay out of pocket. But as far as that emergent care to initially treat whatever's going on, that's afforded to every fucking human. And that's the one thing that bothers me about that raid too in Chicago. There were black people on that TV screen saying this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the illegals. Y'all so dumb and dense. It's so dumb and dense. A lot of these tactics that are going on, that are happening, are specifically designed to make black people engage. When you look at these different protests around the world, the protest was all peaceful. They was kumbaya, singing, party, having a good time. And then more and more black people started joining the protests. Did you realize that as more and more black people started joining the protests, the more and more violence started picking up from the law enforcement? I don't know why y'all not, baby, what's going on? Oh, okay, so slow ass vehicle up here. The more black people that started joining these protests, the more black people started in on these physical actions where their body is present, the violence started ramping up more in these streets. They were having whole parades out in California with the Mexicans. Police wasn't doing shit. But soon as 1 or 2, 3 black faces started joining, and they didn't know if they was black Americans, black immigrants, black Dominicans, black Puerto Ricans, they didn't know what they were. But it was black faces, the violence picked up from the law enforcement. It's a brag that we shouldn't fucking have. We know who they want gone. We know who they want gone. It's black people. If we shut the fuck up, everybody else will shut the fuck up, is what they're hoping. So far as I know, nothing happened with the IG guy and Mike Johnson. I still didn't see nothing. So nothing happened. His threat was empty. And like I said, I felt it was a fluff in the beginning. His threat was empty. It did nothing. Dang, it was something else I was supposed to talk about. What else I was supposed to talk about? I'm trying to go through my Rolodex. There has been investigations launched by a couple people in Congress in regards to Trump's actions. Apparently, there's $17 trillion missing. Now, according to the Dumb Don, back in July, he started saying that because of the tariffs, we have earned $17 trillion. Ain't nobody paying these fucking tariffs like he's saying he's doing. He's a bald-faced ass lie. But he's claiming that there's $17 trillion earned. Where's the money, Dumb Don? Nobody seems to know where the money is. Apparently, if he earned $17 trillion from January through July, because that's when he started saying it, That would be enough to fund the government for another 2.5 years. There would be no reason for a shutdown. There's no reason for a shutdown now. They're trying to blame the Democrats, and the Democrats want the illegals to get Medicare. No, they don't. It's not in the bill. We read it. It's out there for everybody to read yourselves. You ain't got to worry about hearing the fake news. You can go right to the government website and read what the fuck the bill says. Every time that they put a measure to the floor, whether we know about it or not in the news, it's on the government's website. Something that you can research yourself every fucking day and you can read through it. But one of the things I do know, just based off of previous situations, majority of the time the damn Republicans and GOPs, they don't read them. They don't even read the bill. They don't know what the fuck is in them. They let dumb Don tell them what's in it and they run with that shit. And then the news media run with that shit. Told y'all yesterday, I made a comment on Don Lemon telling us to be afraid and all that shit and be scared. You should be scared. So I wasn't the only one in the comment section going at him about that comment. Many people were pissed that he was trying to sell that narrative. So he did a separate video. I haven't watched it fully. I heard the first sentence that says, earlier this morning, I told you guys to be afraid. But that's not, I'm not saying be afraid of them. So he did a whole video trying to explain everything that he explained in the first video. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet. But my thing is, you shouldn't have to come back and do an explanation video. You should have been very fucking clear in the beginning what you meant. We heard what you meant the first time. You're trying to clean it up now. And majority of people was not fucking happy with him trying to sell that fucking narrative to people. That's why we have people in the Chicago apartment building blaming it on the immigrants instead of blaming it on who fault it really is. And that's the fucking commander-in-chief of this fucking country. That's who's to blame. The GOP, the MAGA nuts. Speaking of that shit, how was I forgetting this? Yesterday, I posted up on the board in the community tab a post from Dumb Donald's True Social that was saying he's thanking the Democrats for shutting down the government, which the Democrats didn't shut down shit. They showed up to vote. None of the Republicans showed up. Mike Johnson locked the floor so they couldn't go in. There was no vote because the Republicans didn't show up. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, but that was his message saying because of the Democrats shut down the government, false statement. Then now he's able to implement Project 2025. He wants to thank them for giving him this opportunity to initiate it. They were smart. They believed in Project 2025. And when he said they were smart, that's letting me know the people that voted for him wasn't smart, because they were smart to call it out. They were smart to make it known. Even though he sat there and lied to the America as a whole, the Project 2025 doesn't exist. We knew he was lying. We said he was lying. And the people who didn't, who still voted for him anyway, is because they agreed with what he wants to do. They're racist and as bigot as ever, as he is. And all so he's implementing Project 2025 now. That's what he said. He done sat down and met with one of the people who created the shit, and now they finna put it in motion since the government is shut down. Do y'all realize over the last, I don't know how many years? Okay, the government has shut down at least 3 times before. The first time lasted about 3 days. Second time lasted a week. Third time lasted 35 days. And every time the government had shut down, Trump was the one who was the president. Every single fucking time. And that's because even when Republicans want to come in and vote their conscience or vote what their constituents want them to vote as, they get orders from the orange one that say don't do it, and they don't. They have clearly forgot that there's a separation of government for a reason. The way you vote and how you show up for your job is not contingent on what the president tells you to fucking do. Everyday Americans like us, everyday folks, if we showed up for work or didn't show up for work and did nothing, we would lose our fucking jobs. That should be the same for the people in Congress. You see them on the floor when it's time to vote. Like I said, half of them ain't even read the fucking measure. They sitting on their cell phones ordering stock because they're hearing the inside information. They ordering stock and searching porn, swiping left on Grindr. That's what they doing instead of their fucking job. I don't understand how anybody, if you're in that fucking building, could not vote at all. Yes or no? That's your two fucking options. And if you're not present for that fucking day, it better be for a good damn reason. It got to be something in your community that called for your presence. Not just because you felt like taking off that day or you going to the Bahamas or wherever the fuck Ted Cruz be going every time something disastrous happens. So he's implementing Project 2025. And if you still haven't read it, shame on you. I'm saying it right now. Shame the fuck on you. Because I'm quite sure you might be one of those people at home that's still crying about what they gonna do. This is against the law. But all the information was out there available for years. You may not know where to look until last year. But at least for the last year, it's been out there available for you that made you aware of it, for you to research it yourself, and for you to make a conscious decision to do something about it. Yes, it's safety in numbers. Yes, we stand together more when we're a group. We're more powerful as a unit than as an individual. But that was your time to seek out local organizations in your area. Start making YouTube videos. Start doing TikTokies, doing your actual research on these subject matters yourself and become part of the movement. It was something else I was supposed to talk about. Oh, there's new information about the Epstein files. Another, some Republican dude, I forgot his name, was on a podcast talking about how one of the ways in which business was conducted with Epstein was he would offer people to get massages, and it was happy ending type massages and things like that. And he's quite sure that he had video of him because Epstein was one of the biggest blackmailers in the world. So another investigation is opening up in the Epstein files. I'm almost at work. I'll talk to y'all in another video. Maybe I'll be on here tomorrow for this October thing, and we'll see. Peace.